Welcome back to another episode of
Pittsburgh Finds Out!
Answering the world's toughest but simplest questions.
Trees are the most important thing on Earth, besides water and the sun. They produce O2. O2 is oxygen. How trees make oxygen is photosynthesis. Leaves drag in carbon dioxide and use the beaming energy of the sun to make O2. As you know, trees start off as a little sapling, and then they might grow to be over 60 feet tall. But once they grow fully, they make these seeds. Some trees, like the maple tree, have seeds called samaras, or you could call them willogigs. Willogigs hold the seeds at the bottom of them. You might see some fall in fall. The pine tree is a very known tree because it has over 125 types, and it lives up to 1,000 years old. But the pine primarily grows near the northern hemisphere, and at 400 meters. That's 12,000 feet. That's high. Oak trees are as cool as pine, but oak leaves are different, and the way they are formed are different. Even the places they grow are different. Oak usually grows in grasslands, jungles, maybe even safaris. Oak trees also live up to 300 years. A tree can be cut down and turned into logs. Those logs might be used up to make a house. You might not know, but a tree normally can be a house for animals like squirrels and birds and other animals. The beaver, for example, they cut down trees to make dams and houses. What smart animals. Every tree isn't the same. They're all different. Some have the orange leaves, some have red and yellow, maybe even pink or purple. Every tree has their secrets. One of them is fruit. A tree can have your favorite type of fruit, apple or orange, even lemons or pears, alongside cherries and vanilla. Another secret is the special flowers they grow. For example, sakura trees have pink flowers that hold vanilla, and most trees just have flowers for the bees to pollinate. Trees go through a lot, in fact. They are one of the oldest things on Earth. It takes 1 year for a tree to grow simply 12 inches. That means trees have seen the whole world in the making. In fact, the oldest tree in the world is the bristlecone pine. This tree can live up to a whopping 5,000 years. Now those are facts about trees you won't forget.
The Egyptians had many gods, but how did they start out? How did thousands of gods come into existence? According to Egyptian mythology, the world started in darkness, without life. When life was finally ready, an island came out of the primeval ocean, and Ra, the sun god, came into existence. Ra created the world, colors, and even more gods. He created his son, Shu, from breath, and his daughter, Tefnut, from spit. Shu was the god of wind, while Tefnut was the god of moisture. Shu and Tefnut had 2 children, Jeb and Nut. Jeb was the earth, while Nut was the sky. Ra became the sun, rising as a child at the beginning of the day, and an old man at the end, before starting the process over again. Eventually, Jeb and Nut had their own children, starting a long line of gods, to the 2,000 that exist today.
There are tons of different opinions about graffiti being right or wrong, but let's get back into the history of graffiti. The first signs of graffiti was seen in caves thousands of years ago. Later, Romans wrote their names or protests on buildings, but that's way too far back. Let's get back to modern times. Graffiti took off around the 1970s in Philadelphia. It was a way for people to express themselves and make themselves seen through art, like putting it on a subway or train, because when the train went around the city, everyone was able to see your art. It's also one of the ways the artists could relate to each other and show similarities to some of the difficult things they had to go through in life. They could also use it to show brotherhood. Graffiti is one of the key parts of the pillars of hip-hop culture. In an article by the New York Times, the term graffiti was used to describe the urban art explosion of culture that was happening at the time. Without it, some places would not be the same. Another part of hip-hop is the rap, and that's the vocal arts. Some of the rappers responsible for the arts are Snoop Dogg, Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem, Mac Miller, MF Doom, Big Daddy Kane, The Roots, Wu-Tang Clan, and the Notorious B.I.G. Hip-hop, like graffiti, is a way to express your mind, and like if you were feeling bad about something, you could do a kind of art that expresses your feelings. Its history and culture is one of my favorite things to research, and I hope you agree.
Have you ever wondered what diamond art is? Diamond art is a great art project and craft to do. They are a mix between paint by number and cross stitching. Diamond art is a form of mosaic art. They don't require any experience on your part. Diamond art is a way to relax and unwind as you lose yourself into creating the diamond art. They also provide a much quicker and stress-free result. A lot of people like to do diamond arts, and now they are a hobby among many people. They have a guide explaining which diamonds go where on the canvas. The painter has to stick the diamonds onto the corresponding areas. They have a top layer of glue which helps the diamonds stick onto the canvas. They are a new art project and craft project. When all the diamonds are on it, then you can put Mod Podge on it to make it extra shiny, and it will help the diamonds from coming off the canvas, and that way you don't lose any diamonds. They are all different kinds of diamond arts, and they make different shape beads like circle or square diamonds. You can choose what shape diamond art beads you want to do it with. These are the things that make diamond art a fun project. I hope this helps understand what diamond art are and how you do it.
How do people discover ocean geography? Geography is a study of the physical features of the Earth and its atmosphere and how humans affect it. Oceanography is a study of the geography of the ocean. There are many geographical examples on the globe. The Hawaii Islands are made by volcanoes. These volcanoes started out under the sea. There are many volcanoes on the ocean floor today. The Great Barrier Reef off the side of Australia is a large coral reef that is over 2,000 kilometers long. The largest island in the Pacific Ocean is the island of New Guinea in the South Pacific. There are 7 oceans on the Earth. This makes the surface contain more water than dirt. As National Geographic points out, from outer space, Earth looks like an awesome blue marble. The Earth's surface is covered 70% by water. The largest ocean on Earth is the Pacific Ocean, which covers close to 30% of the globe. There are lots to learn about geography of the ocean. Scientists are learning about it each day. Thank you for listening.
Do you have any phobias? If you said no, you must be lying. Everyone is scared of something, you just might not know it. So I'll tell you about phobias and what they are. Phobias come from a Greek word meaning fear or morbid fear. A phobia is a strong fear about a specific thing or situation. In psychology, a phobia is considered an anxiety disorder. A phobia is different from just being scared of something. Phobia is when you feel unsteady, dizzy, lightheaded, or faint. There are 2 basic types of phobias: specific phobias and social phobias. People with specific phobias fear certain things like spiders. This is called arachnophobia. There are a lot of fears from A to Z, over 50 actually. There are also certain categories of phobias such as natural environment, animals, mutilation, medical treatment, and situations. Some people have phobias that you wouldn't even think would exist, and some people have phobias that are very common. For example, arachnophobia, the fear of spiders; ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes; acrophobia, the fear of heights. I hope this helped you find out what you're scared of, and now you know that it is called a phobia.
There are lots of facts about life in the ocean and animals. One interesting animal in the ocean is the giant sunfish. It can weigh about 2,000 kilograms, and it's almost as big as a pickup truck. These fish can grow to a length of 14 feet. Another cool animal is the jellyfish. Jellyfish are a sea turtle's favorite food. Jellyfish eat small fish, plants, and animals found in the water. The mouth is small like a bird's beak, and jellyfish can sting really fast before a blink of an eye. Whenever you are in the ocean, you could be having fun, then really quickly you could get stung by a jellyfish. It doesn't feel good when it happens to you, but when it does happen, put sand on it and lay it in the ocean to rinse it. Next on our list, we are going to talk about how people leave litter on the beach. Sea turtles can confuse trash as jellyfish swimming and think it is food. 700 species in the ocean have been reported eating plastic. So when you bring anything to the ocean like a water bottle or food to eat, make sure to throw it in the trash. Our pick it up and put it in your bag. The many types of wildlife and ocean animals will be better off.
How do owls see in the dark? Well, that's a good question. Okay, so owls use echolocation. Echolocation is a thing some nocturnal animals have. If an animal makes a sound, they can hear them with echolocation. Owls look for things like mice and insects to eat. Echolocation helps them hunt for this food, as well as shelter. That is how owls see in the dark.
Hello, and welcome to this section of the podcast. In this segment, we will be learning about the moon and how it came to be.
Let's start with how the moon came to be. It is widely believed that the moon was formed after an asteroid the size of Mars collided with Earth. While it was in its molten stage and the impact scattered debris into space.
After a while, the debris got pulled together by gravity, creating the moon. This would explain why the moon does not have a core and why it has the same chemical composition as the Earth.
Now let's move on to what the moon does and looks like from Earth. Did you know that the reason we have waves in the ocean is because the moon gravitation pull causes the water to rise up and make waves?
The moon does not change in its physical form. It looks different depending on where we are in the solar system and the way the shadow falls on the moon.
The moon has 8 stages. The most known stages are the full moon and the new moon. The moon acts as a barrier by blocking meteorites from colliding with the Earth.
That's why the moon has so many craters on its surface.
I hope that you learned something about how the moon came to be and some facts about it.
Just remember, stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure to follow this awesome podcast, but not just by hitting, but smashing that subscribe button.
Please don't break your screen.